Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Random Rant Roundtable. With me is Admiral Teague and Sci-Fi Sistan. How you guys doing?
Oh, still alive, kicking, not dead yet.
You know what? Doing okay. Happy Veterans Day to everybody, and hello to all of you out there in YouTube land.
And we already got a couple people here.
Mm.
Kapla Gorilla. And hello, buddy. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, buddy.
Well, Teague, since you're saying you're an ancient Scotsman of
Yes.
from the Highlander
Yes.
movies or shows, how many wars have you been through, and how much of a veteran are you really?
After about 25 wars, I stopped keeping count. I've killed thousands, of course, personally, and I sleep like a baby at night because they shouldn't have messed with me. What can I tell you?
Yeah, you can pretty much do anything those memory foam mattresses have you covered.
As long as my head doesn't leave my body, I am safe.
We have music in the background from one of you.
Yeah, I'll get rid of that.
All right. Well, to start off, I'll get a slightly political topic here. From what I hear, Mandami is being stopped in his tracks by his own party to not do his socialist policies all the way in New York.
That would make sense considering their terrible ideas. He could try to do whatever he wants, but this is still a capitalist city. Teague, you got drunk again and blacked out. It's not Veterans Day anymore. It's Veterans Day in Gaia in what do you call it? Like the other side of the world. It's still veteran. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Whatever. You and your metric system stuff. What can I tell you? So what was the question, Dan?
Buddy, let's hope it's the one on his neck.
God, I hope so.
Well, it was just a little topic I was bringing up since you're in New York, and from what I hear through political pundits I watch, your incoming mayor's policies are starting to become stalled out by his own party.
Doesn't matter. The president has promised to have him arrested, and I trust that Trump will keep his promise of July 1st, 2025 press conference where he unequivocally said it, followed by screaming at the reporter, "Where are you from? You're fake news." So I know he meant it.
Well, they are turning against him.
Mandami, this was
Yeah.
a pipe dream that never should have happened. That ballot was a joke. All three people on it were unfit. We took the one person who wasn't a fucking outright criminal. There is a case to be made that Cuomo killed 55,000 people. There's a case to be made that Eric Adams was the DEI hire no one ever wanted in the tyrannied ballots. And there was a case to be made that Curtis Sliwa would have gone to jail for all those false police reports if someone had bothered prosecuting him on time. And you know what? Like faking a shooting on yourself where you now have to like shit in a bag for the rest of your life makes you look dumb. It makes people think he looks dumb. Okay, so like Curtis Sliwa was never going to win. I ultimately voted for the person that the president endorsed because I got to that place way before Trump. I voted early for the same person he endorsed because I knew I didn't know he was going to say it, but I knew that there was no other case to be made any other way. And then a bunch of people just wanted to play spoiler and act like fucking children because this guy promised to like throw candy with a snow shovel, candy and $100 bills off a float at the St. Patrick's Day parade, and people were in for a rude surprise. And it's a shame that he got elected, but I trust the president to keep his promise.
If it makes you feel any better, we got our first socialist mayor over here too. We've had council. We had most of the council as socialist before, but never outright as the mayor.
I'm going to tell you this. We have one socialist politician in a capitalist city in a capitalist nation. He will be contained. We have everyone else on, like pushing back against his craziness. He's not going to double the minimum wage. But I mean, if he chooses to make my salary $35 an hour and mandate it, well, I mean, I guess I'll have to live with it for a while, right? I won't give the money back when the state like lowers the rate back down, but you know what? Like, if he's gonna make crazy mistakes, like make it free for me to take the train, like I guess I'll just have to live with not having to pay for the train for a little while he works it through his system. He won't be able to maintain it, but like he might be able to pull a couple of goofy moves. I don't know what to tell you.
I was
But
Yeah.
look at the other candidates, guys. Sorry, Dan.
I'll tell you from experience, it is fun for a while for the medium to lower class, but the bill does come due, and Seattle right now is, well, we're bankrupt.
The president said he's going to arrest the guy. Unless Trump lets us down, we're going to be fine. July 1st, 2025, check the press conference. It's unequivocally. Germ, you saw it. He spat it out unequivocally. And when asked what his reasoning was, he screamed at you, who do you work for? And you are fake news, which means it's going to happen and it's true.
While all those things did happen, they didn't happen in quite that order and not quite as insanely as you put it.
I kind of have hats off to the press for asking such an insane question. I think the press was exactly that crazy. I don't think the president did anything wrong.
I do have a question for given our little topics that I started. Tell me, is little Bernie a outright socialist, or is he just a liberal in a socialist skin?
I think he's a small D, like a big D Democrat who has some socialist skinning, but like some of that stuff is left over from when it sounded cool in like 1977 when he ran for like mayor of like Bloomington, like Vermont. He's not that consequential. He's 86 years old. He should be He should retire. Considering what Bernie Sanders is like, it's kind of pointless at this point. It would have been nice if he had been the nominee rather than Hillary Clinton, because like she's just not someone that I think should be near power. But he's not really that relevant anymore. He's just one of 101 senators.
$30 will bankrupt a shit ton of businesses. Yeah, I can personally attest. $20 did that in Seattle.
Won't be a problem.
Prices skyrocketed too. You can't.
It's not going to be 30. It's 35. It's 35. Let's get our story straight. It's almost $50 an hour here. It's $35 an hour was the Mandami promise. Because since it's not going to come true, why not promise $125 an hour? You know what, guys? We're going to pave the streets in gold. Hi, LDG.
Hey, LDG.
This guy just told a bunch of crazy lies. He's going to be gone in one term. He may be arrested. He may have committed. He may have done something wrong. It was implied that he was arrestable by someone who can have him arrested.
Oh, we got a pickle.
Mm.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, LDG.
Trump had let me down. Oh, has let me down because he has not started arresting all of these assholes. I would say that we will fight and we won't quit is a dick who I wouldn't be upset if he got arrested.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do have to have some sort of cause to arrest people.
That's the problem with I think what's going to happen is I think he's going to arrest Mandami and there won't be a way to keep him. And what the risk? Hello, Captain. The risk here is that Trump is goaded into arresting Mandami before he does anything wrong, and that Mandami gets sprung like in hours by the Supremes, and Trump risks looking bad, and then finds a way to you could mint him into a folk hero. He can't run for vice president with AOC, but he could end up New York governor if you pull that kind of a mistake. You don't want to give him too much oxygen because he's so full of shit. If just left to himself, he'll implode. Germ, tell me I'm not wrong.
I would say the same thing about you. You don't want to give you too much oxygen.
It's New York. New Yorkers in general.
Yeah, New Yorkers in general. I'm in Florida now, so I'm out of that. But what's going on, everybody? What are you all talking about?
That's a little political topics right now.
Political topics? What about Trump's little email that got out?
I spoke about that a little bit. I think it's very controversial, and it seems to be unless we find out that this is fake, and things could always be fake, what did he have to gain by... whatever. If we find out this is fake, things could still be fake. Assuming it's real, what reason did he have to start having a correspondence with another person about how Trump is definitely covering for him? It looks pretty. It would be bad if it's real. So hopefully it's
It
not.
looks extraordinarily convenient.
And I
Well,
will say
Joanne Maxwell has assured us that nothing bad ever happened on the island at all, so Trump couldn't have done anything wrong. When she was interviewed in jail, she said nothing bad ever happened there. So that's right there she cleared him.
Yeah.
and I
And
will
if
say,
this was really real, if this was actually anything, it would have come out during the election.
I don't know about that. That was some of the worst. That was two of the worst campaigns in a row against a fairly well-run Trump campaign. Instead of being the shambolic mess that it was in the 2016 election, or the shambolic mess it is right after 2020 when he began his re-election campaign in February of 2020. If I have that timeline right, he started right away. There was a rally in Texas within 2 months of leaving the White House. So, it was a mess at first, but by the time he got to the last year, he had it down. He had done 70 or 80 rallies in the course of the time leading up to it. So in the home stretch, he hit his stride, and he was just he had rolled out some of these statements so many times unquestioned, no one bothered asking him what he meant by a 1,500% reset refund on medication. I'm still waiting to figure that out. That's how do you give me a 1,500% refund on my commute? Does that mean when I leave, I'm back home again already? When I get to work, I'm already back home?
I have no idea what that means, Gorilla.
Peppermint extract is... Let me just see. Go look at that comment.
Water and rubbing alcohol. You got some bad stuff, Gorilla.
We don't know. We're not doctors.
And I will say this, that if Trump once he were to get Mandani, they'll probably do the money route option for him, because that's probably the easiest way, since they say all politicians take
foreign donors. I don't know if any politician...
They just have to take that.
Does any politician really want to poke the look at the donations bear, inviting people to look at theirs? I mean, I think everyone just wants to move on from who donated to who.
Yeah,
I think the Mamdani angle will be lying on his citizenship papers about being a member of a foreign terrorist organization.
Yeah.
And if he's accused of that, and if I was on a jury, knowing what I know so far, I wouldn't be at guilty yet because it's a legal proceeding, but I would be leaning that way already. I would probably have to tell them that I couldn't be on that jury. I'd be like, I already think he's guilty, sir. Yeah, what else am I going to say?
And yeah, Gorilla, you're right. Bernie is just socialist with sprinkles.
I would say that. He is as much of a socialist as Elizabeth Warren is an Indian. She just said it. I'm a guardian to sound good in the 70s when people were getting away with wild stuff and there was no internet. And then all of a sudden, when fact checked on it, Bernie's ideas more or less line up with the I would call moderate Democratic Party ideas. His minimum wage idea, no longer controversial. He wants 40% what Mamdani wants. $15 an hour isn't controversial anymore. He hasn't raised it to we want 20. He's stayed with 15. Bernie Sanders, the center sort of came to him, I guess. I mean...
Yeah, I just hope the small businesses can handle the minimum wage hike.
Most small businesses are just run by the people who own them anyway. I think they'll be okay. I think it'll be a bit. If I figure that out right, it'll be a bigger tax break that you could give yourself for the salary. You write that off. You have to work for yourself. I think you can write it off.
And shifting from New York and eastern side of U.S. politics, here in California, the sad California voters in my state sadly overwhelmingly passed Prop 50, which basically gives the Dems redistricting power to undistrict of, I think, about 4 or 5 Republican seats in California. Joy.
It's okay. They're not real Republicans anyway. Kind of like up here, they're failed Democrats.
I don't know if anyone has as weird of a Republican Party as New York that produces people like Curtis Sliwa and George Santos regularly and like just gives no one a choice.
We have the same problem over here on this side of the mountains, pretty much from the Canadian border down to the Mexican border. We have Republicans, but
They're like not ready for prime time.
they're kind of rainbow Republicans.
Are they kind of also poorly spoken idiots and like provable liars, like say Curtis Sliwa?
At best.
Remember-
At best, the Republicans here on the West Coast are controlled opposition.
Yeah,
Well,
that's usually their best. Then usually they're running rather flamboyant people.
look, I would just say Cuomo was found liable. There was no criminal penalty for it, but he was found liable for like destroying the New York Republican Party. But I would say like his helper was Giuliani, who like picked some of these real idiots who couldn't compete and pushed people out. Like one person that Giuliani pushed out of the Republican Party is not a great person, but he ended up winning a mayor race. Would be Eric Adams. Was a Republican, and like just Giuliani was too insane for even him to deal with, and Eric Adams was plenty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty much when you get into these liberal states. That's pretty much what you get from the Republican Party.
Eric Adams is real messed up. He's like the woke MAGA mayor. Like, I'm being serious. Like, he's like, his two leading things are that he's woke and that he's MAGA. And I don't know how he squares it up, but he walks around every day like the hypocrite that he is, not having a problem with it.
That does not really compute.
He had 6 ballot.
We have guys here that say they're MAGA, but they're wearing a rainbow flag and it says no human is illegal.
He'll wear that because he's totally all about DEI and all that other stuff. He wanted to replace, he wanted to put a DEI person on every city licensing board and also have a governing city board of DEI to govern all other boards. So you would have your DEI cop and your DEI fireman and your DEI social security, like social worker. And it would just be like, okay, so he has a rage disorder and he's an alcoholic, but he should be a cop. It's like, what? It's like, so what if he's 400 pounds? He should be a fireman. Like, huh? Like, Eric Adams was crazy. He wanted, race-based parking permits. The guy was crazy. He put ballot questions on the first ballot that he could put on stuff on. He wanted to have, racially preferential parking permits. I kid you not. Read the New York State ballot questions from the New York City ballot questions from the midterm for us. The general for you.
I will say this. The DEI policies worked wonders in Los Angeles when those fires broke out. Man, the firefighters were great. They responded just in time. I mean, very sarcastic, of course. Was
that DEI policies, or was that like their ecological point of view, where they're like, we're trying to save some weird fish, so they wouldn't give anybody? There was no water for the firemen to work with.
Oh, it was both. Because you had the DEI fire chief and assistant fire chief down there.
That's true. When they showed their fire command, it was 4 of 4 people were fucking 50-year-old lesbian females. And maybe one trans lesbian. That it was obvious. You don't go 4 for 4 in your fire department. Chief of fire, the fire department chief, the chief of emergency services, the EMS chief, and whatever the other person. All 4 of them were lesbian females. It was ridiculous. It couldn't have just happened. It can't just happen. They're all white too.
Man, I feel sorry for my state. I honestly do.
We got more chats.
It's going to be okay.
Putting chips on all the numbers.
Who?
I have no idea. Who's doing that, buddy?
Help.
Hey, this one's for you.
Well, sit them. They tried their best speeding their flames for their double-ended dildos.
They probably would have had better success if they did that. I don't know how I live in this state. Well, I could probably live on the eastern side if the western side would just stop fucking around with stuff.
Or better yet, Jim, why not do what Oregon is doing? Just to divide their state between east and west, and the greater Idaho movement here on the west coast.
Yeah, that's actually a dual thing. They want to have Washington and Oregon, but Washington would be the western side of both states. Oregon would be the eastern side of both states.
When do you guys get your, when do you guys get your shit together and launch the invasion of Canada? You can take them.
We're basically Canada right now. I've been to Vancouver and Seattle. There's not really a difference there.
Wow. Little communist city-state.
Oh, he was talking about your Republican guy up there.
Oh, yeah. It was the weirdest thing. There were some lingering charges, and Trump cleared him of those. He pardoned him of some stuff. We grokked this. It was confusing as hell. Some of it was like the investigation was run wrong, but the evidence was incontrovertible. So although obtained illegally, he was freed. But he was totally guilty of taking bribes, and he was totally a piece of shit. Then Trump roasted the prosecutor because it was the same one who fucked up the Trump trial, and he cleared up some of the lingering stuff which kept him mayor. And I guess Trump probably regrets that now because the fallout is the three-way race. With if people would have listened to Trump, and Trump would have listened to us, Trump would have had Adams removed, and if Sliwa would have listened to Trump, we probably would have Cuomo, or probably whoever Adams' deputy mayor would have most likely won, and we wouldn't have this problem with Mandami. But he did basically crush everyone else. He got more than 50% of the vote.
Yeah, there's just no stopping voting for socialists in some places.
Well, it really was more a testimony to the other guys he ran against. Like one guy killed 55,000 people, mostly in New York City. And then he's running for New York City mayor. If it had been Yonkers, maybe Cuomo wins. You know what I'm saying? He did real damage in this area. And he still factored into the race very heavily. If Sliwa had left the race as Trump had asked, if Adams hadn't been in the race, Mamdani would not have won. But, he's not mayor yet. He may not become mayor. There's still some legal questions. And if he ends up mayor, we do have a promise that he'd be arrested. So I look forward to the president fulfilling his promise.
Breaking news. The House has passed the vote to reopen the government. Trump will sign the bill tonight, ending the 43-day shutdown.
I think Patton would be very sad. I'm sad for Patton's ghost. I think Patton would be very sad because in Rome, the soldiers paid to fight in the army, and here we pay the soldiers. So he would have been happy about that part. So I think Patton would be sad, but probably the best for America. And hey, look, all for nothing too, right? What do they gain?
They get a vote next month on the healthcare extension, which is literally what they offered on day one.
What I'm saying, yeah, no gain. That vote, by the way, will fail.
Most assuredly.
If it hadn't have been known as Obamacare, they might have let it stick around, but it's called Obamacare, so it's got to go away.
And Gorilla says you get what you vote for. There's a problem with that, Gorilla. We don't really vote on the West Coast.
I didn't. We didn't get what we voted for.
We have what you call mail-in ballots, where a bunch of ballots go out. More ballots than go out come in, and they just start counting until they get the result they want.
Sounds kosher to me.
And Dan responded to Gorilla.
Yeah,
Can't vote because. Go ahead and read it.
I said, Gorilla, I don't vote because here votes really don't matter here in California. Even if I did vote, it would be one vote versus 40 million other votes.
Or
That's
however
amazing.
many the printer can put out.
When I went to the polling place, I said, I'm here to vote. And they said, sir, it's fine. You already voted. It was the easiest thing ever. I said, really? They're like, yeah, you voted 4 times. I was like, really? Like, yeah, you can just leave. I was like, that's cool. Who'd I vote for? And they told me the winner, sir.
Yeah, you probably put too much faith in the young retards and foreigners that have basically flooded your city.
Where are they? Why don't I see them around?
You live in a building full of them.
Those freak people who speak no English were fucking born here. They are just simply fucking ignorant.
They are still foreigners. It doesn't
No,
matter.
they're not. They're from Puerto Rico. They were born in New York. Yeah, they're unacculturated New York Ricans, which is a real term. Hey, like, I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm Cuban.
It's the same one.
By the way, I did some research on this. 0.5% of New Yorkers and something like less than 1% of all Latinos are Cuban. We are the smallest group of Latinos.
But he said they had the same problem there. People are the same. People are generally stupid. Personally, I would heavily restrict the voting franchise.
It's time to get voter ID that doesn't have a cost attached to it and doesn't have a cost attached to the things that you need to get it. So we need it. We need it to be good, and we need it in time for the midterms, or they're going to get nullified. Let's face it.
Personally, I personally did not participate in this last vote because I am not currently contributing to society the way I should be normally. But I know people around their sole existence is handouts, and they're perfectly capable They're perfectly capable of working and have been for years. They've just been lying to the government
or themselves.
Unfortunately, in the system we have, their vote is equal to the guy who's putting in 80 hours a week to feed his family and make society better. Something needs to happen about that. If you have no skin in the game, you shouldn't be making decisions. Gorilla.
Oh, you came so close. Maybe Trump will flip out. He can still flip out and just say, fuck it now. If Obama endorses the compromise, Trump will blow it off for a couple of days.
All he has to do is wait until Friday.
If Obama if Obama endorses the compromise, Trump will hold off on signing it while he has it relooked at. What you need to do is call on Obama to endorse the reopening. It is Sith Dan's fault, of course.
Oh, yeah. If you came out en masse, then you might have flipped. No, Gorilla. Literally more votes than people on the West Coast. You're used to the nice small town where you know everybody and you can all fit in the same room to vote. You literally see, oh yeah, here's a person, there's a vote. There's a person, there's a vote. We have as many votes as they need to get a certain person elected or get a certain proposition passed because the printers never stop.
Well, that plus it also depends who counts the votes too in mail-in ballots.
Everything's always going completely fine without any troubles or anything ever being untoward here. I feel bad for people who have these problems, though.
Yeah, sure. Make sure you speak directly into the NYPD's microphone.
I just want to say, Director Patel, I believe absolutely in our system, and there's no need to look into me, sir.
Yeah, the whole system isn't on the up and up pretty much anywhere in the Western world, I believe, buddy.
People have had that feeling for a couple of years now. You can't be. It's been in the air. It's a legit thing to say. People are wondering about it.
Fortunately, this week there is no sports news. Last week they got the 2 Guardians pitchers that were getting $7,000 a ball.
Good for them.
They weren't having a ball.
Yeah.
$7,000. Wow, that's good. Good for them, sir. That really, the price of my Derek Jeter signed baseball just went through the roof, huh? So
well, unless they
LDG,
go back that far.
So LDG, when will Landrew be online? We'll find out later.
Hear us.
It would be cool.
What else is trending?
It would be cool to get LDG's reaction on Landrew and that episode. I'd love to talk to him about that someday.
Well, there's always the underground to talk to LDG too, T.
I know. I might just go there. They had all kinds of video of people filling out boxes worth of ballots in their cars and putting them into the drop box. Yeah, we all saw some strange things, man.
Yeah.
But like I would just point out, it didn't happen in New York.
Keep telling yourself that, Teague.
Those results here were unsurprising.
LDG
I don't
fell
think
asleep.
I don't think anyone can tell. Honestly, I don't think they sued the results in New York.
And they're not going to sue for the results in Seattle either. It's going to be less than 2,000 votes that the socialist wins here, but no one gives a shit.
Doesn't that mandate a recount? In New York, that mandates a recount. If it's that close, you have to count them again.
On the level of mayor, the opponent has to sue for it, and he doesn't give a shit.
Gotcha. Too bad.
He didn't really put up a campaign until the last probably 3 weeks.
Fair.
I want to say here, there's
The good of the body is the prime directive.
There you go.
There are different types of people that don't vote. There are the normal people that think it's worthless, which is me. There are the stupid people there's the smart people that actually don't care to vote because they know it's meaningless. Basically the same thing as the normal people. Or there's the dumb people that figure the system's rigged and really don't care at all.
I don't care, but I'll vote. I just think that we should repeal the 19th.
Amen. We haven't really had a good election since we allowed them to vote.
You'll get tooth and nail for ladies to actually say that they earned the vote.
They're bullshit. They earned it. They got the vote so it'd be easier to swing elections in a certain direction. Those the word escapes me at the minute. Those broads bitching for the right to vote back in the early
Suffragettes.
Suffragettes. Those suffragettes were essentially tools of the Democratic Party. They were laughing at them that we get these. They essentially pulled LBJ instead of using a word YouTube won't let me say. They said we'll get these bitches voting for us for the next 1,000 years.
And it worked.
Yep.
Look, we just need to repeal the 19th and we'll be okay.
Well, and also do a political minded test or a IQ tests are basically pointless, but do a certain test.
They're also unconstitutional.
What?
I would reduce it. IQ tests, reading tests, and poll taxes were all ruled unconstitutional.
So
That's why I support a talent contest.
So
I would reduce it to 1 vote per household.
I think maybe just letting me decide would be better.
I mean, yeah, I'm maybe talking somewhat illegal talk here, but look, there's a lot of stupid people that actually vote, and the reading tests, you may call it illegal, but they did have a point to a certain extent, and so did the IQ tests roughly a little bit. They did sort of weed out the idiots that really did not know a damn thing in those topics.
It did help. Unfortunately, it was used to rule out minorities. I really think it's more like you go on the household level. If you have like 5 people living in the household, still you just get 1 vote. Whoever's the head of that household is the one voting.
I believe only male Yankee fans who own property should be allowed to vote.
Let's drop the Yankee fan part, and you got something there. I disqualify Yankee fans. Obvious mental disorder there. Out of order of the will of May. It is the word of Landrew.
If you love baseball, you love the Yankees whether you know it or not. If you hate the Yankees, you're loving the Yankees. That's part of being a Yankee fan, is hating the Yankees.
You had a great history until the Steinbrenner family came along, and then you became, well, evil.
Glorious. Yes, evil. I love that part. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Have a questionnaire like, what is a woman? Yeah, you'd get maybe 90% of the population over here just timed out on that questionnaire complaining about that first question.
Can I take a moment to strongly disagree with something that the president did?
Go ahead.
I hope people will forgive me, but I am outraged, and I think it is an affront to everyone who smoked crack and did time in jail that Darryl Strawberry got pardoned. I don't think he deserved to get pardoned. I think he had earned that jail time and that criminal reputation. I think that his reputation has been diminished. Darryl Strawberry has been a criminal every time I've seen him since I was a teenager, and now when I go see him with the 86 Mets, I get deprived of that. He has sullied Darryl Strawberry's reputation. I hope the Hall of Fame leaves the criminal part in for his home run 39 home run season. When they mention him, his achievement, and I think that his crimes should be reinstated, and he should be awarded an honorary felony like a doctorate. Bad move by Trump. You shouldn't have pardoned him. You really fucked up his rep. I think that Darryl Strawberry was cooler as a criminal, but I'm old-fashioned that way.
Let Darryl in. He can go in with Pete.
You know what? He's never going to go to the Hall of Fame. He only has 335 home runs, but at least Doc Gooden is still a criminal. Thank God. And Lenny Dykstra, for the moment.
Oh, they announced the Cy Young Award, and to no one's surprise, Scoble won the AL Cy Young Award. Ace pitcher for the Dodgers, for Detroit Tigers. And rumored trade pawn because Detroit can't freaking afford him for another $40 million a year. And Paul Skenes of the Pittsburgh Pirates apparently won for the NL. I don't know who the hell he is, but congratulations to him.
Yeah, once you become a YouTuber, you don't get to see a lot of the things that you used to do in the real world, like sports. I watched like a bunch of baseball games, but I didn't have the dough to throw down for the Yankee app. And why would you? They have less games on their app than anyone else. If you want to watch the Yankees, it's like one game's on local TV. One game's on ESPN. Basically, every Sunday Yankee game is an ESPN game. They follow the Yankees all around the world. There is, 2 or 3 Fox games. We have the least games on our app and the most expensive app. It's unfair, sirs.
Yeah, lucky they let him into the stadium. Look what they did to Doc in the clubhouse.
I don't know what they did. I know that at the end of the day, Doc was he was banned from like the Mets clubhouse because I think he was suspected of having a relapse. The Yankees always had a babysitter with him to keep him away from drugs and other things. Doc Gooden his story's slightly more sinister than Daryl's. Like, he's beat a couple of people up and stuff. Daryl Strawberry just drives drunk and like fucking buys drugs.
Tell me, have any of you heard or seen the new Predator movie, Predator Badlands? Because from what I hear, the critical reception and the audience score is pretty much divided somewhat along those lines.
My friend said he thought it was only okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had a phone call. I had to step away for like the last 10 minutes. What are we talking about now?
Predator Badlands.
Badlands? Oh, that fucking game?
And movie.
The movie.
Oh, that fucking movie?
Yeah, there's a new movie, the one where the Predator looks kind of like Worf.
I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, the Predator and the Terminator, like humping him.
No, I don't think that's in there, but they do say this one's the first Predator movie without humans because they go to a planet where I guess we've got human-like aliens. Think Vulcans here.
They're androids.
Is that what it is?
Android.
Okay, they look like us.
That's why it was the Terminator thing. Yeah, they had some meme with like he was laying down and like a half ripped off Terminator was like trying to hump him.
Yeah, it's a
like
sense
AI.
from the Alien universe. It is confirmed a sense from the Alien universe.
So the alien, so the Predators are finally getting their ass whipped by technology.
The Predator and the Fence apparently make some sort of an alliance to do some sort of shit.
Oh, lovely.
The idea that the Predators make alliances is ridiculous. That's like Species 90210 negotiating. They're just rage-filled monsters like a velociraptor.
Oh, well, the
Predators they were pretty. I mean, it's not like they weren't civilized.
Yeah,
Predators or Species 90210.
I will say this: the Predators do make alliances, but you have to prove yourself a worthy hunter. Or
they're exactly. They're exactly like.
Okay, the Predators, yes. The aliens, there's no talking to. Sorry, I got my factions confused with the aliens are berserkers. The Predators, you can talk to.
Yeah, the Predators are closer to Herosian.
Yeah, Herosian.
Yes, the Herosians are the Predators. Kazon.
Yeah, I may see Predator Badlands through other means online, or I may just not see it at all.
Yeah. Let's say when it's on the high seas.
Have you heard about? Here's the thing. I misheard the title. I heard Predator Badlands. I misheard it as Predator Bad Hands, and I was like, "Oh, is it a Harvey Weinstein documentary?"
Well, why can't we just have like Predator versus RoboCop? Oh wait, that's Terminator. Sorry. Or was there a Predator versus RoboCop? I don't even know.
I think that's a playable option in a video game.
Yeah, it's playable option in a couple video games, and it's a comic book.
It is a comic book for sure.
Well, no,
So,
I know,
you know-
I know. There's RoboCop vs. Terminator was a comic book. I got that one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually kind of cool.
A lot of people like to bring this one up and champion it as the movie that was like a dead end or that could be used for more lore. Is that like Predator 2 is actually a lot better than people give it credit for. The Danny Glover one, it's not bad at all.
But he's saying the Prey fans are liking it. The fans of the older ones, not so much. That's what I would figure.
I think if
I
you
wasn't a big fan of Prey.
consented to like Prey, you're gonna like whatever they put a Predator label on.
And hail Grimlon.
Grimlon! It's good to see you. Hope you had fun with the fam. Enjoying Veterans Day.
I will say this: the Predator Prey movie, I probably will be in the minority. People, fans that are hardcore fans say they hate it. I'm in the minority. I mean, it's not a full-on great movie. I would say it's a 7 out of 10, which on my scale, a 6 out of 10. That's a low-end okay movie for me. 6 out of 10.
A little better than mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Wayland Utonic senses.
Grimlon's
see
on
the
the
movie yet,
Teenage
buddy?
Mutant Ninja Turtle comic.
Oh, crossover with Naruto? I never heard of that one.
Very controversial, sir. Very controversial.
Saying howdy to Grimlon.
Am I sticking to form? Am I picking between the most extreme instincts of Alec Baldwin and Trump still, or have I calmed down yet?
You're at a good level right now. You started off a little high. Now you're slowly petering to a manageable spot.
I got asked a bunch of crazy questions. I had to answer them.
You know what? This is a fan question for all of us. Terminator versus RoboCop. I mean, it's been done in the comic, but in your opinion, who would win that fight, RoboCop or the Terminator?
It's coming down to luck. But the thing is, the Terminator would win if it had some technology and a ranged weapon to damage the RoboCop first. If the RoboCop's got his fucking two like machine gun pistols, he's gonna really ding up the RoboCop before ding up the Predator before they close to hand, and then Robo would win. Don't you think, LDG? Right?
No.
Choice of
dude.
weapon comes in.
One RoboCop versus a godsend of freaking Terminators. Yeah, I think Terminator wins that one, dude.
The thing is that RoboCop's weapons are incorporated into his body, and Terminator has to get him. He shows up naked.
No. The T-800 maybe, but not the T-1000 or 1 million.
All right, now you got to be clear on that one. Then you got to quit. There's no stopping the liquid one. What are you going to do? Like just keep shooting it, and it's going to keep putting itself back together like pieces of mercury.
All right. Well,
I mean,
I should refine the Terminator definition. The T-800 from the T2 and T1 movies. In other words, that one. That was the villain and the
T2,
hero.
T3 would have ripped RoboCop to shreds. The original Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe a 50-50 battle.
T3, that was like the last movie that I'm willing to view as canonical. It's not as bad as people said it was. It's not a fantastic movie, though.
Oh, they're all T-800s, LDG, in all three of those movies.
Well, Arnold is always a T-800.
No, not Arnold. I'm talking about the other one. So in T2,
T-1000, and then the T-2000.
That was like a hybrid. Yeah.
Yeah, she was also liquid and a couple of other things. She
Yeah,
was kind of heavily sourced off of the movie Species, wasn't she?
Her human side.
The actress, yeah.
All that part of it.
But she had a plasma pistol too.
But so was
yeah,
T2 though. But so was T2 though. Remember the scene where he killed Connor's wife? He turned into the wife, and then he kills the husband with the milk drinking scene. That kind of reminded me of Species.
Yeah, well, my viewpoint is that it's a Terminator win in the RoboCop versus Terminator fight, but the Terminator will be severely damaged by the RoboCop. He will be.
Oh well, RoboCop got a huge upgrade during the RoboCop vs Terminator comic book. Like he got like a jetpack and weapons and
He had
shit.
a jetpack and those weapons in.
He had him in RoboCop 3 with Jill Hennessy from
3.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the automatic weapon for a hand. That
Now, I would like to see.
He had thermal.
Like
He had
like,
extended thermal vision. That rocket pack.
It's too bad JT's not here. He lives in OCP Tower. He could tell us.
I'd like to see Venom take over RoboCop and like have like a half RoboCop, half Venom thing going on. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, it's simple.
How do you communicate as the symbiote with? You'd have to merge with like all of RoboCop or just the cybernetic part.
Just the human part.
All of it.
RoboCop is human at its core. I mean, it's just a prosthesis, for God's sake.
It's about as human as the Voyager.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I don't know about that.
Well, Buddy did point out what's left of RoboCop or Alex Murphy, and that what's left of him is his human brain, face, tongue, and some of his spinal cord. So basically,
that's all you need.
That's all that's left of him.
There's only like the shadows of his memories. He even admits he's not Murphy anymore. He's sourced off Murphy. He's not a full-on robot. He's a cyborg. RoboCop still has a human brain, face, tongue, and some spinal column. That's where the Terminator would target. I would agree. I'll just say that Robo is going to weapons. I don't think whoever loses, the winner's not walking away totally functional and is walking away recognizable if it's the Terminator.
Yes, whoever wins is going to be severely damaged or injured. They will be.
They might not be a threat to anyone else for much longer.
Yeah, but I'd say that RoboCop has the backup. He can call in 100 squad cars. He can get the
air support
on standby, the helicopters, the whole thing.
He's got it all.
Is always on his own.
That said, the Terminator can kneecap 60 fucking LAPD in like 14 seconds.
If he has
with a chain gun,
which he wasn't supposed to drop.
Yeah, well, my versus fan ID was basically a VV1, not a RoboCop and the police force versus one Terminator. It was like a VV1, like one Terminator versus RoboCop. Who wins that battle? And I would say the Terminator wins that one barely, but the Terminator will come out severely injured. He will be.
I think a more fair fight would be like the Borg versus Terminators.
Fair. That's true. The thing is, you got to go by species. A Borg sourced off like a Romulan, that's really going to have like some more strength than like a Borg sourced off a human. You know what I mean? Or a Borg sourced off Neelix.
Well, the Terminator.
Although I don't think the Borg absorb Tellarites.
Well, the Terminator through Skynet.
The Talaxians. Sorry.
Skynet does control the Terminators through a computer link, and the Terminators are high-minded in that sense. So is the Borg.
I don't think they are.
Which hive mind?
I don't think they are.
Would outwit each other.
I don't remember there being a hive mind per se. I mean,
it's in Genesis. It's definitely in Genesis that have a hive mind, maybe, but that's an outlier movie.
That's a bullshit movie, but yeah.
Well, at least Skynet is a full-on computer system. It created Terminators and it needs to control to fight its war against humanity. And there's no individuality with those Terminators unless Skynet purposely programs a Terminator to go on a solo mission, and he gives that Terminator certain traits or programs to operate independently. But overall, the Terminators in the Terminator franchise, the ones in battle or built by Skynet, they're high-minded because Skynet is a control freak program. The program has to control everything it has to not risk robot rebellion or any rogue AI.
As true as that is, though, we've got reprogrammed Terminators starting in the second movie. So
Yeah, they failed at
They're
that. as soon as
infinitely
freaking
hackable. They're infinitely
we found out
hackable.
yeah, as soon as we found out there was infinite AIs trying to travel back in time, and yeah,
And here's the other one.
oh my
Once
god,
once you program
Dark fate.
once you program your Terminator, and this is in 2 and 3. Once you program your Terminator, LDG, would you say they have like a Landru effect where the Landru program starts to drift off center because it's taking its commands too literally and having what they call the paperclip problem?
Yeah, I see. I don't know about that because even if I would have sent Terminator 1, if you could send a Terminator back in time, I would have sent it with like a, I would have.
They're able to like
installed-
layer on reasons and nuance to their program, then they learn and they gain knowledge. Though,
Well,
like
I would have
out there.
compressed myself in that Terminator. So even if the Terminator had any kind of, self-thought, that I would have overridden it. Like I would have sent myself back with it. Like easily installed a module on the original Terminator. Just like, okay, we're sending you, but I'm going to send a backup copy of me with you just in case you get out of fuck.
Hi, Arabic. That's not a bad thought. I'm just saying, like, the way we've seen the Terminators, their AI programming, it's not overly limited, but like over time, they'll start to extrapolate on it and build on it, and they might start to go like not like Psycho Ranger, but in a predictable, mechanical way, or at least a linear and understandable way based on the movie. Like in 3, that one's been hanging around for a while, you know what I mean? And in 2, that one's been reprogrammed, and that one over the course of the movie learns and changes. And it still doesn't drift off what John Connor told it to do. It's just it has to layer on and extrapolate, and it has like a decent level of reasoning ability.
Yeah. And buddy, I'm with you. Robo-Kane definitely takes out the Terminator, unless he gets like a large plasma gun.
Are we talking about the guy who did the nuke?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Robo-Kane. They put him in like an Ed 209 body.
And hello, Eric Saunders. Long time no see.
It's good to see you, Arabic.
See, that's what I'm saying. The whole thing about Terminator 1 is like they focused on the wrong aspect. Like you sent a Terminator back in time before John Connor was even born. So all you had to do is send the Terminator back to instate Skynet. Like that's all you had to do. It was like send them back to make Skynet happen sooner. You didn't have to kill John Connor. He's not even born, or he's a kid by now. Well, at the time he wasn't even born yet. Just send the Terminator back to freaking create Skynet. That's it. Done. Game over.
Up until the end of 3, they have changed the circumstances and moved the goalposts on Judgment Day twice.
Well, LDG, the Terminator and Terminator 1 indirectly created Skynet because they did bring back events. This is the problem with time travel, and I know LDG and Germ are going to get a huge headache from seeing this, but it's a time paradox for 1 and 2 Terminator movies, because the Terminator from the so-called original timeline gets sent back through time with all that advanced technology. Then Sarah Connor stops him, but the advanced computer system that robot assassin has in him is captured by a computer programmer in the past, somehow reverses engineers it, then he creates like a computer processor like Skynet, then boom, Skynet is created years, if not decades earlier. And
that's what I'm talking about. They did it inadvertently. What if they did it vertently?
It's possible. Let's just make sure. Like
they had to keep the timeline intact.
I wanted to say that before you got there.
Skynet can actually be invented. When the second Terminator comes in, it basically just keeps the chain going.
I would prefer if we kept the RoboCop discussion, and I'm sorry, the Terminator discussion to how Terminators are as AIs rather than the timeline shit, because like the time travel in Terminator is perfect time travel. It's magical bullshit, and you're not supposed to think about it. So that timeline stuff that starts in Genesis, I don't like it.
Well, I will say this.
Any kind of timeline, dude. Any time story is fucked to begin with. Back to the Future, like all of them, like they are.
Yeah, I mean they're They can be analyzed to death too easily, which is why the multiverse is now thrown at us, because it's another real scientific principle, but it's all like that one really is incomprehensible unless you have like an applied sciences degree. So they just throw the word around and use it for whatever they want. It's a cheap hack to not have to use time travel.
And I will say this to the T-800. They do say in the movies and in the lore that the T-800 has a neural net processor, basically a learning computer. It can learn things on its own if it's sit out by its own. It can either develop a sort of semi-conscious on its own to rebel against Skynet, or it can become more hostile or more friendly depending on what the robot decides. If it has enough long chains Skynet allows for it on its mission to develop its own conscience or
that's what I'm talking about, though.
Or it could learn to run a drapes store.
If you were Sky, oh sorry, if
Don't
you were
choke.
Skynet, I'm trying not to. If you
I
were
can't
Skynet,
afford that lawsuit from your next of kin.
now, okay, so did they or did they not send back the original Terminator forthwith, like with forethought? Like they knew what they were doing, right? Like
No.
Skynet knew what it was doing when it sent back that T-800.
No, for Skynet in the first movie, it was a last-ditch effort to win the war for
Right,
itself.
but it was unknowingly done. They did it with the foreknowledge of it. Yes, their plan was their plan, which is why they were able to be stopped, because John Connor found a computer readout of the plan and said, "Okay, I'll counter plan against it. I'll send back Reese."
Yeah, exactly. So why not send yourself back? Why'd you send a fucking T-800 back?
Because he risks getting killed and causing a loop.
Well, no.
Well, he has to get killed and cause the loop. He has to close the loop by going back.
Well, he never goes back. He sends back Reese, which makes sense.
If you're going to send something back, you might as well send yourself back and not a fucking peon. Because once you sent that back, you're done. Like Skynet would die the second it sent back the first T-800.
He'd seen the picture of his mother with Reese. He knew it was going to work out.
Yeah.
And the fact that the AI didn't realize that if they failed, another AI was going to take over, that was ridiculous.
Well, the part with the one with Helena Bonham Carter and Dominion. It's like, yay, we beat Legion.
To get this train off the tracks, Ervik, speaking of degrees, I'm thinking of a career change. I'm miserable in my current job.
Don't do YouTube. You won't have that much fun. It's not as fun as people say.
It's a shit ton more work for a lot less money. I'm on someone's channel every freaking day, and it's pennies to the dollar to what I was making when I was healthy.
I have a monetized YouTube channel, and I think that it would average out to it would be Chinese factory worker wages per hour. That said, I put in a lot of hours. Not necessarily booking, doing shows, but on my channel, we're pretty scripted as far as we have a game plan, and we have bullet points, and we have stories, and we don't just turn on the YouTube machine. Though people are allowed to do that, it's not illegal. Is it worth getting undergraduate certificate in computer programming that includes Java and C+ courses? I'm not qualified to answer that, although it seems logical. Don't overpay. Junior college, way to go. Community college is still affordable if there's one near enough to you. Otherwise, maybe Microsoft qualification might be just as good.
Yourself.
Ask. We're
you
can learn all that shit yourself.
It's more about getting the certificate.
Just remember,
more about the actual knowledge.
LDG is a genius about this, so you can't take his advice. He's like a top 3%.
I mean, Bill Gates didn't pass. Freaking Steve Jobs didn't pass. Like all the big people did not.
Steve Jobs didn't know shit. Steve Jobs failed engineering courses, but he was
He failed
charismatic enough.
engineering, but
Hey, Michael Jordan.
His only skill was manipulating Wozniak into
In
making
business.
stuff for him.
Michael Jordan didn't make the basketball
Yeah.
team in high school. Big deal.
yeah.
Michael Jordan didn't make the basketball team because he was a flunking student.
He didn't make the basketball team because he was betting on the team.
It's probably the one thing Michael Jordan never did bet on. And bet on literally everything else.
I think he might have bet on his own team because he was gambling during a playoff game in Atlantic City.
I knew
or
more
during a
than the
playoff
teachers
series.
teaching me.
Sorry,
It was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
you're not like everyone else. You can't give that kind of advice to regular people.
Well, regular people are not programmers.
Right. What I'm saying is he's right. Like the advice we're giving him is probably a little more sound than your dismissal because while you're right for you, you're right.
He wants to get
you know what else was sound?
They will never.
Titanic was sound.
But employers, I've seen it. If you don't have the qualification they want, your resume is immediately filed into the trash.
Do you know what the certificate says? That you sat in the classroom and had enough discipline and showed the commitment to get the certificate, which shows dedication. That's the only thing it means.
All you have to do is impress the person during the interview.
You know what?
You don't get the interview if you don't have the certificate most of the times.
You have a resume and you proceed this stuff. You're old. You're like 50.
No, I am not Deej yet. Thank you very much.
You're at least 50.
45.
54. You ain't been 45 since 1945. What?
You know, your foot hasn't felt anything since my ass. I'm sorry, your ass hasn't felt anything.
Yeah, no, you had it right the first time.
God. But anyway,
keep going. Thank you. The busting on LDG on behalf of Admiral Teague will be done by LDG. Thank you. Who needs to defend yourself when you got friends like you? And you are a pal. You are a pal. I love LDG.
Yeah, Eric's thinking he need a certificate since it's a new field for him.
Look, it's gonna lead to a more positive and easier conversation with the hiring manager, is my opinion. But what do I know?
Yeah, I would say if the programming is something you're interested in and something you really want to pursue, get the certificate. But
you'll probably learn one or two things too.
Yeah,
you'll probably learn something.
If you're gonna get any type of secondary education at this point in life, make sure it's something you're really, really interested in and can really dedicate yourself to.
And try to go to a merit college.
Fucking merit. We talk about Trump talking about merit. How about we have our government on merit? Shit, because I tell you right now, we'd be firing everybody who was on merit.
I consent to lead. I agree, and I consent to lead. I thank you, too. I think that I've been waiting a long time for someone to suggest that so that I can take this initiative. If we're going to have a merit-based leadership, I agree to be the leader.
Then run against Mandami.
Germ, I appoint you my vice president.
You're 100% more qualified. Hell, 500%.
I actually am 100% more qualified than him because what I would do is I would get advisors from all the services from among the people that I know who worked at various levels, some of whom rose all the way and some of whom were in the middle. And I would bring back mandatory strength requirements for the NYPD, make sure that they were up to speed. I would also get the NYPD pulse rifles. I think that the colonial marine equipment is important. And also I would, I'm all for, using city technology to do a laser show on the moon on nights where there's a full moon, but only for the Western Hemisphere.
And you also have the benefit of actually living in the city more than a year and a half.
I'm an American citizen, and my father and his father both fought for the United States. I was raised by a New York City detective. I understand and respect the police, fire department, and all the city services, including the teachers and the sanitation corps. I think that I could get a. I think it would be difficult, but I would never stop trying to build a coalition. You've seen how positive I am about my town. It would be infectious. I think I could be effective, and you already know I don't really give a shit about being some kind of corrupt power broker. As long as I got to yell and scream at people, I'd be happy.
New York needs to change the capital to Karoga.
Hell, Karoga for sure.
Yeah. Thanks for the advice, guys. It's accredited university.
Colorado
State University.
Thunder and Herd.
$6,000.
That's a lot of money, but honestly, if you're in good health and you don't need, you think that you're gonna have a few good months, I would honestly, yeah, you know what? Get the loan. If you're over 28, you qualify immediately. Pay back most of the money right away so that you don't have it hanging over your head and no interest builds up. And it's a $14,000 loan. Keep 10, give back 4. Get yourself some food, fuel, and supplies, and work when you can while you do it. Use that to pay off real bills. Like if you have credit card bills that are higher than that, pay it off with the student loan because that's locked in at like 3-4%. Get rid of the worst of your debt, which will clean up life a little bit, and get the training.
If you're in severe debt, I wouldn't do it.
A Pell Grant might clean up that debt, though. That's a really good debt consolidation loan. $14,000 at 3-4%. If you're in credit card debt at 30%, because if you're in debt, you're getting charges. So 25, when you getting that down to 3-4%, that might be a winner for you. And you can prioritize that and blow off the other bills and not go to jail. And that payment will be lower.
Yeah, but I'd prefer to recommend actually being responsible with money.
This assumes you already have a problem. This assumes you already have been irresponsible, and it's just this is harm reduction. It's not a plan.
Yeah, we're not all New Yorkers.
But look, it took me forever. I was like in my 40s when I paid off my Pell Grant. But the bottom line is, I did have to use my credit card. So, the last Pell Grant, basically I consolidated all that high interest credit card stuff and paid it off at a much lower rate and saved myself from, financial oblivion that way. I didn't need the Pell Grant. I took it because I could use it that way. And you know what? If you can lower your interest 26%, would you not do it?
Yeah, but I would, for something as low as $6,000, I would pay cash.
No, it was for. Oh, I thought.
I'm talking about Eric here.
Yeah, the Pell Grant's about 14,000.
Yeah, but if you could keep a small emergency fund, like a month or 2, 3 months, preferably, and still have that $6,000, I'd go ahead and do that.
We recommend the certificate because it makes you more employable. I do think it'll help. That is a real skill, and you probably will learn a couple of things. LDG is not wrong, but he's also an outlier. Although, don't go planning your life based on my financial advice. I have not done the greatest. I'm not living in Trump Tower. I'm living in Teague Tower, but it's not as nice.
He can complete it in 8 months. He's pretty much debt free. Finished paying off student loans for his first bachelor's.
You have some
That's
education. Great. Yeah, you know what? What I would do is I would do a lot of research on the people granting the degree first, though. Look on everything from Google reviews. Look for angry people. See if all the angry stories match up, if there's a common thread. Feed the stories through an AI and ask it if it thinks there's anything nefarious going on, and then have another AI verify it.
It's the state university.
CSU, you should be all right. And $6,000 these days, that actually, it's an okay used car, but for a CSU certification, they have a good name. It's probably another thou for the name, but the thing is, you will earn that back in your first job interview. You can be slightly audacious, although, it is that the job market's rough, but you can be a little audacious.
Yeah, be
Like-
ready to compete with a lot of Indian
The thing is that who cares?
H1B H1B guys.
That might not be a problem.
But yeah, if possible, I'd just pay cash for that $6,000 and dip of an emergency fund down from 3 months down to the $1,000 base, because you want to be able to cover in case like a tire blows up or something. But for any like stuff like money decisions like that, I usually just I would say, what would Ramsey do? I watch a lot of the Ramsey podcasts, and they usually have good advice. I wish I would have been following it more directly before I got sick, because I had some savings and stuff built up, but I had huge amounts of debt going in, so that really fucked me over.
You know what? You inspired me. The once a week now I take a sugar Sabbath.
Oh, he'll still be working while he's going to school, so that's good. He has $1,000
You know what?
saved.
This is now sounding like the best idea for you. See if your school has a way that you can pay it off over time. You know, like the best, most painless payment option is the way to go. But you know what? That's an LDG question, but it sounds to
LDG.
us like a good idea. We aren't advice columnists or anything, though. You know, we're not experts, and we're not in your shoes. But I would say this: we want the best for you. I think we all like you.
Yeah, and that's great. Yeah, the $1,000 saved up. That's always a great emergency fund starter.
Wipe the blood off it before you spend it.
Yeah. LDG, can you post the link to the underground for Eric in the chat?
Very controversial, sir.
thenet.org/underground.
LDG,
There you
is there
Oh,
a way? Is there a way that you were able to link the? Obviously, there was a way, but when you linked the two StreamYard rooms together, right?
Yeah.
Is there some like high level of technology you need to pull this off, or is this is it all
meter.
about memory and bandwidth?
No.
How'd you pull it off?
Voice meter.
What's that?
It's an audio mixing program that lets me mix audio channels together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been doing the underground since 5 years now, straight up. Been here 24/7. Matter of fact, I had to bitch out StreamYard on Twitter because recently StreamYard, if you're not live streaming and you're just in a StreamYard like I do the underground, it kicks you out after 4 hours now. A little pop-up that says, "Are you still there?"
Yeah,
Like,
I saw that. Do you want to
and
stay?
I programmed an extension for my browser that automatically clicks that now. So I've been in the underground since last Saturday, and it's working. So I tweeted StreamYard and I told him, I said, "Hey, listen, I like the fact that you're doing whatever, but are you still there is bullshit because you don't have like a remember your password, remember your response kind of thing." So I told StreamYard, I said, "Hey, if you don't fix it, I'll fix it for free." And within 24 hours, I came out with an extension, installed it on my browser, and I don't have to worry about clicking that shit ever again. So if anybody's interested and they do what I do, I can give you an extension for free, and it'll keep you on there. And I'm going to expand it so it works with all streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, and it's going to any website that thinks they can kick you off, not being on 24/7, it'll bypass that pop-up.
Good extension. Hello, the dead man.
Hey, the dead man. Welcome.
Yo.
Hey, then, man.
Fabulous. Yvette still get on there. Yvette's not doing too well right now, but she's still around.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Germ,
You-
if you're not too focused in the public chat, can you check the private chat for a second, Germ?
Oh yeah, we do have to get going.
Oh.
So
Well,
yeah,
time-
we're gonna wrap up here because Dan has a show in about 10 minutes. So Teague, do you want to shout out something before we go?
I'll be on probably Thursday night with the Mountain Men of the Paramount panel, where we will take a look and predict season 2 of Landman if I don't have work. Otherwise, that show will be kicked until sometime Friday night when we'll do the best we can, or whatever. Watch this space, but the Landman panel's coming at you, and of course Saturday night, Germ. I don't know. Are you going to do the watch party for Stormfront 1 and 2?
Yeah, we'll have the watch party.
So the watch party will start at 7 at Germs, and then at 8 at Germs, and at 10 o'clock the review show at my place 10 to 1. And please come by and check it out. This episode of Star Trek has Yahtzees, and the Yahtzee logo is everywhere, so there will be no slideshow. There'll be a couple of pictures. Their alien's pretty good. It's another one that mixes together a bunch of episodes that are from the original series. It's got Patterns of Force in there. It's got Assignment Earth in there. It's got Guardian on the Edge of Forever in there. It's got like Shadow of the Mirror Universe maybe rising in there. It's not that great of an episode. I believe that Home should have been the episode they did first.
Yeah, we really didn't need Stormfront.
I loved the episode Home, though, when I watched that. I was loving it when I watched about half of it. I was really loving it. It was like, this was the resolution we needed. This was
LDG.
what we needed.
What do you got coming up?
We'll see. I'm still working my ass off and trying to do my things to make things happen. And I'll see you guys around. freethenet.org/underground. Come hit me up.
And Dan, go ahead and.
Alrighty, if any of you are still able to hear me, Sci-Fi Sith Dan, usually cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. I do my sci-fi watch parties on Wednesdays, usually 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Right now we're doing the Continuum TV show. And I do my live streams usually on Saturdays between 2 and 4 p.m. Pacific time. I do cross-stream ideas with my fellow committee members like Resolute Germ and Greta's Random Plots. Maybe a few others, they will allow it. But that's beyond that. And I do upload a new video on my main channel towards the end of the previous and the beginning of next week. I do have a secondary channel called Multiple Source or Den. On that one, I cover Japanese anime or cartoons in general. I'm doing the slime animation. We're in the middle of season 3, and it's adult anime, not Row 34. You have to be at least 18 to see that. And I do have a third channel called Sci-Fi Story. And that one I cover different sci-fi franchises, histories, and all that. Beyond that, that's all I have to say because I gotta head on out real fast to set up my own live stream.
All right, thanks, Dan. And this is the link to. He'll have the Continuum Watch Party, Season 3, coming up here in just a few minutes. Drop by and say hi. Great stream. We'll be back here on Friday for a special tribute to our dearly departed friend Bird, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll have a special watch party. Two of Bird's favorite DS9 episodes, Soldiers of the Empire, and Once More Into the Breach.
Amazing.
So we'll have two great episodes.
Prey.
We'll have two great episodes to watch, and people will be invited up to tell stories about Bird, anything they want to say in remembrance of our dearly departed friend. And then, of course, we'll have the pre-show watch party on Saturday and another Monday monster movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. We'll see you over at Dan's.
Later, folks.